will type
Okay,
it.
Mombo, no, I have Esther. Yes.
Mombo 025
418
I just can't appreciate you. Can't appreciate you. So that
470. Wema, okay, I will do it now.
Yeah.
Sister Kemi, what is for you?
Dr. Kemi, with all the warmth, as you can see, I am literally soaking in the sun, like the sunshine from England, yeah. With all the warmth, that the universe can actually kind of bestow on me, I welcome you to this platform.
Woman distorts memory. Like
what say le mute ni no e ma lo phone ni so that ẹni ma gbọ́ mo ka gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe show so àwọn èèyàn ní bó ṣe operate lórí TikTok so
my phone is 20%. I'm on my way to an appointment with the doctor.
All right, let's go. Let's give Dr. Kemi Oluloyo. Let's give her the floor. I
have a neurological episode going on right now.
Okay, ma bínú a ní pàtẹ́wọ́ mọ́
so I have to go. I'm having swelling. Okay, you can start sorry because you basically what's going on is that somebody said something about September 11th. Ejo, who was the journalist that said this? Kemi kan mo tin so láti jọ pé September 11 ni Mohbad kú. Kemo so àbí mi ò sọ. Mo gbọ́ tí IT guy ń sọ.
Yeah, you said it in the beginning.
I said it in the beginning of the year. September 11th ni Mohbad kú. Kò sí nǹkan kan tó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ sí investigation mi. Mo máa bá Káyọ̀dé sọ̀rọ̀ on Monday. Mo decide mo fẹ́ kọ extensive letter sí ní Monday. And I have
moderators, anyone who abuse, please just block them or mute them, okay? We don't want those.
I have Kayode's number. And when I say Kayode, I mean Dr. Egbetokun. I've known Kayode since he was the CSO to Tinubu in 2006. So that's why I call him Kayode. He calls me Kemi. He doesn't call me Dr. Kemi. Our informal. Kayode ni IGP nsìn. How does this Mohbad case look? To Bati retire one day. Mama look at certain cases to attach more in the police department. It's the same way that IGP to the pastor. The man is 92 years old now. To she saw it be on Jeko investigate Delegiwa because of influences from the presidency. Now, the same thing is going on with the IGP during Bola Ige. On Jeko investigate Atiku. Because one Atiku lo orchestrate everything. You know what I mean? Obasanjo lawon èèyàn máa ń knock àsìkò pa Bola Ige, but Atiku lo make sure assassination go well. Says many people. But that's what that IGP always, it taunts him. So I told Kayode, I said, Kayode, I said this. I said, Dr. Egbetokun, I'm going to write him a letter. Okay? I don't want to be talking to the IGP on WhatsApp or any messaging thing. I want to write him a letter that, what is your legacy going to look like when you're gone on this case? It was in your tenure. A DCP died, Ayilara, who was the person that was in charge of the entire investigation in Kpanti. This is what we call the chief of homicide in America and Canada. Ayilara died mysteriously. They said he had prostate cancer. He was sent to, I want to see the man distort memory, man take train of thoughts. The work I did in Mohbad's case was costly. I spent $10,200 on Mohbad's case for 18 months. People were asking where I got the money from. $3,000 was donated by fans in naira, in dollars, in pounds. Kopo. The rest 7,000 you watch Facebook for me at YouTube. I spent my entire monetization profits for 3 months on Facebook and 3 months on YouTube on my other work. Dubai, a country I've never visited. Holiday spend the case Mohbad. All my monetization. In other words, working as a journalist for 11 years in Nigeria without a salary, the reason we beg for money is because we need that money for the investigation. Nigerians have not gotten it in their minds yet to investigate Casey and why they didn't. Ṣé Fisayo touch Casey? Fisayo touch Casey. Ṣé Sowore touch Casey? Sowore touch it. Ṣé David Ondeyin touch it? Could touch it. Kabiru Adejumo. I can be listing investigative journalists that did not touch Mohbad's case. Did anybody at Punch touch the investigation? No. And these are people that investigate stories. Premium Times. Samuel Ogundipe Tokuro on Premium Times as investigative journalist. Solo Shite in New York, People's Gazette. Nobody investigated Mohbad's case because I want to be in charge of Mohbad's case. I want to support Bobo nonsense. They themselves are in the presidency. One in the Senate, one in the presidency, one I want to be in power. Okay? And the curse of power is going to start happening to everybody. Kilo dete if mama on cases then investigate. Talo investigate Koza. Nobody did. Kemi Oluloyo no ma investigate but cases storm. Talo investigate Ikoyi building. Nobody did. Talo investigate Oromoni. Nobody did. It was always Kemi Oluloyo. Momo reaching to Moshema on case here, and I was not looking for a return. Return means pay mo spend 7 million. Lori case kon mo gba 5 million pada. I got nothing back. But Batoma bully me Toma leak address me. Ade ton on job be the fake activist. Ati tonto dike Toma leak address ile me ati phone number. Tonika won yo lo sile mi kon lo mi. When you harass me in banks, when you harass me in malls, as Nigeria. I told everybody I left Nigeria New Year's Day 2023. I didn't. I left Nigeria December 2022. And I was whisked away by a politician and a billionaire who had credible intelligence that people were coming to kill me in my house. You want to fly me in Nigeria? I will never step that country again. And so they were in charge of that. Don't go behind Bokini moment here. And the minute I mention that person's name on social media, life at career ma collapse. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń ṣe kà ní Nigeria, tẹ́ mọ̀ nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ behind the scenes. Okay? Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ jẹ́ fans Iyabo Ojo, tẹ́ mi bú Iyabo Ojo fún nǹkan tó ṣe ní Port Harcourt. Kálẹ̀ mi ti kọ ìwé nípa Port Harcourt prison. Iṣẹ́ ni kankan máa mọ̀ pé Iyabo ló wà ń bẹ tó ń sanwó fún. Tó ń sanwó fún Iyabo kó keep èmi ní prison. Iyabo ti bẹ̀ mí láti 2019 and I would have written the book. But something did not make me write that book and it's called God. That in September of 2023, Iyabo started attacking me and said, I will send you back to prison. Ìgbà yẹn lọ́lọ́pàá yẹn rí kíní ẹ̀ Iyabo, òun ṣàkókò máa send her back to prison. Àwa tá à ń fún ẹ lówó ni kó keep her in prison. And that's when they told me that Iyabo was actually being paid to keep me in prison. So Iyabo wanted to use that, okay, as a means to detract people by posting on my PTSD video and making fun of me. Your enemies are around you, come on. Okay, my family is an example. The Oluloyo family. Emma praised one time. Emma said, Oluloyo is a good man. My father will be 90 years old in 2 weeks. But my father was one of the most horrible people I know in the world. The stuff my father has done to me. My own father has organized my own kidnap. They kidnapped me. And my father was behind it. Me, it's a story is life, me ton. Emma said, father, enikon. Ejoko sorry internet and sorrow shikiri. Her children disowned her. Àwọn ọmọ mi máa wò báyìí pé ọjọ́ wo la disown. Wọ́n ti sọ̀rọ̀ ni now. Ṣebí KJ ló sọ̀rọ̀ sí Iyabo tó budan. Àwọn ọ̀tá yín wà around you and the part of them is your family. Mo ti wo ọmọ yẹn ti pẹ́ àdúrà. Mo ti wo ọmọ yẹn ti pẹ́ àdúrà. Your brother is not your friend. They're not always your friend. Your sisters are not always your friend. My mother and my sister planned an armed robbery to get us out of the house. Your family is your worst nightmare. They might be the one acting innocent, but they're the ones behind everything. They're all suspects. I want to obstruct justice. I want Iyabo nkankan. Ṣé Mohbad lọ sí London tó ń sunkún. Wọ́n pè mí now. I want people polo. Menti momo. Ṣé mo bóyá mo mọ polo àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ àtàwọn nkankan. Wọ́n pè mí. Polo ti jọ̀rẹ́ mi for a long time. Gbogbo conversation that man share no DM, Instagram, gbogbo ẹni mo ti keep safely. As a jury, Iyabo wa jẹ́ nìkan tó máa convert ọ̀rẹ́ sí enemy, and that's the reason why I can't talk to Polo anymore. Mo wish her happy birthday. Mo dẹ̀ ṣe post fún lórí Facebook me, but I can't go near Polo now because he's going out with Iyabo. Iyabo is one of the most dangerous individuals in this world. Wedding on my Toloshe in Tanzania, 4 or 5 weddings. Ede 6th and 7th one in Nigeria. Blood Mohbad while in your hands. Gbogbo wọn tó pa lórí Mohbad tó fẹ́ fi lọ ṣe ìyàwó ọmọ ẹ̀. Blood Mohbad wà lórí hands ẹ̀ Iyabo. Kò fetí ẹ sílẹ̀. Because tí Festus bá marry obìnrin bí Wùmí, okay? Tí wọ́n pa Festus, ní jókòó sójú kan Iyabo. Iyabo ní jókòó sójú kan tó bá ṣe irú nǹkan tó ṣe sí Mohbad. Àti September 23, tó ti gbé Mohbad jáde nulẹ̀ títí di March 29th. Any of you can type it into Google. Just type it. Papariano, Nikki Kono, our moderators, can type it. September 23. How many days is September 23, 2023 to March 29, 2025? Motikade 483 days. I need somebody to give me that figure tonight. It's probably 565 days now. Timo Bati one in mortuary. And you want she party, and she wedding, and she bogwe. Mohbad one in mortuary. You go lori bruku mumi. You want tie on lace front wig. On lo sorry arise. On lo sorry Bogo TV station. Bogo interview Toshe Wumi. There was not one of them. And tell your lawyer to keep my name off his fucking mouth. Lawyer Wumi. Lawyer Wumi ko keep oruko mi. Bogo to so lori arise news. And Kemi Oluloyo to said it. Mo nkoti mo investigate. Omo Mary ni mo ko lori 222 media school me online. My school is closed now because I'm retired. But those 4 interns that worked for me, I was paying Cynthia almost $25,000 money dollars naira a day. Cynthia Agbenison Gutedo. The next intern lived in Aja. So Cynthia Gini 4. Why be to ni Aja ni 6 a.m. Why they be traffic titi lo Sikorodu, courthouse for inquest. How mo travel? Thomas Ikpada, to and fro 25,000 ni mo fun conflict of inquest here. I'm outside Nigeria, but I had people working for me. People like mo not $10,000 a day. Mo got mo money here now. And that's just transportation. I file story. We did almost 966 posts on social media, 7 platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everything. Powerful. Social media is more powerful than you. Kemi Oluloyo is more powerful than you. And I'm writing it.
Sorry, it's just 564 days. I just completed it.
564 days. Not quite what in mortuary. You want to interview. Oh, so one time, Ejotalo will go interviews in all 5 of interviews to she never said one time that I'm fighting for justice for my husband. Teba will go interview. She never said, I want justice. Ruth Osime, you disappointed me. Ruth Osime of Arise News to interview. Oh, you disappoint me, Ruth. Ejo, and you record, can you record the law? Record the law, can content, can spread there around. Ruth Osime disappointed me. I grew up with Ruth. Last 14 years old, Timothy Moe Ruth. You were one interview Wumi. Ongbe Liam, oh, he looks like Mohbad. Oh, what kind of nonsense is that? Ruth, go and think about why John Momo did not allow that girl in his station. John Momo did not allow her, and so did the Dokwesi children. Amo Dokwesi ne emak bewabi by. One someone kiri now, sponsored interview. Esa ofu today, interview. Esa ofu BBC Africa, interview. Esa ofu TVC, interview. Esa ofu Arise, interview. Sponsored interview. Mbaton dodo John Momo channels niyo. John Momo is the best TV channel in Africa, not just Nigeria. Share channels my risky reputation of Furu Wumi. Well, by now, they didn't interview her on channels and they didn't interview her on AIT. Amo Dokwesi ogba nonsense. Ekorope kolemaru forward everything kiri. Àwọn tó sponsor in Senate àtàwọn ọba méjì àtàwọn tó wà ní presidency. Àwọn ọmọ yìí ló máa kú lọ́jọ́ kan. I'm talking from pain. I'm a mother of 3 boys. Mo ti sọ kéèsì fáwọn ọmọ mi. Àwọn mi dem follow, at least my youngest one. Tó gbé Nigeria pẹ̀lú mi Rich KJT. Wọ́n follow because gbọ́dọ̀ gbèrú obìnrin why tí ẹ pọ̀ mọ́ tèmi ní eléyìí ṣẹlẹ̀ sí ẹnìkan kò ní sùn lálẹ́. Kò fẹjẹ sílẹ̀ Ìyábọ̀ tó bá ṣẹlẹ̀ sí Festus. Ìyábọ̀ wà nílé Mohbad nígbà tí Mohbad kú ó ti sọ fáwọn ẹ̀ pé inú ilé ló kú sí. You are there. Ìwọ ni Wùmí kọ́kọ́ pè. Owó tẹ́ gbé fún Starblog mo rí gbogbo ẹ̀. Ìgbà tẹ́ sanwó fún Starblog tán tí Starblog ní air infection ló pa Mohbad. Ta ló sọ̀rọ̀ next? Who spoke next? Naira Marley. Where were they coming from? Where were they going? Who paid in Starblog to say it was a air infection? Ta ló máa gbàgbé nǹkan tí Naira Marley kọ? Ta ló sanwó fún Starblog láti sọ pé air infection ni? Ibo náà ń lọ nu mọ́tò tàrí yẹn. Ibo náà ti ń bọ̀. Naira Marley knew nothing about it, but the world shifted to him because of what he had done with the bullying. Ta ló tún wà bẹ́ẹ̀ ńgbà tó ń bully ẹ̀? Ńgbà tó ń bully ẹ̀, tó ń nà, tó ń gbé lọ hospital, tó ti blood pressure rise. Ta ló ń tweet Mohbad lọ́jọ́ yẹn? Kemi Oluloyo. I was the one tweeting. Nobody in the industry was tweeting, and the tweets are there. tí mo ní náírà ilé ayé ò lè tó gbogbo ẹ̀ àwọn kan wá sọ fẹ́ mi what did you do when Mohbad was being bullied? I did a lot. I tweeted, I tried to end the fights, everything. What did you fucking do, Nigerians? I want to ṣiṣẹ́ kẹbẹ̀rẹ̀ sí respect wọn. Mi ń tọrọ wọn lásán lórí social media, mo fi ṣiṣẹ́ ní kí fún information. Mi dẹ̀ ló gbogbo our platforms more like I'm using Facebook. Facebook ni mo ti ń túbà gbogbo àṣírí everybody. 2 days before Tinubu killed Rivers State, I told you guys, military coup, Ombo. I just didn't tell you where. 2 days later, it happened. Mo tún sọ fún pé wọ́n máa yọ Sanwó, wọ́n máa yọ CJ, wọ́n máa yọ everybody. Mo sọ fún pé Kogi, mo sọ fún pé Yàyà ló fẹ́ yọ Dàtàchà. Tọ́ máa sọ di kìíní. Àpábí ò ń ṣiṣẹ́ pẹ̀lú wọn. Gbogbo wọn ń ṣiṣẹ́ pọ̀, wọ́n ń dà lúrú, wọ́n ń ba gbogbo nǹkan jẹ́, ebi ń pa yín, ẹ̀ ń kígbe. People are going through all kinds of impunity. Ọmọ Kanu tó ti lock up here should not be locked up. And to lock it up, to keep locking up here, justice in Yako. Justice, take me okwe o leni 70 billion tí Yako jí ní Adamawa governorship ẹ̀. So ti sọ́dẹ̀ ní EFCC ò tí lè solve case. Thieves are running Nigeria. They're causing impunity. Tonto Dike ńkọ́? Tonto was in a place where politicians were planning the death of somebody. Ó wá tweeted in 2015. Wọ́n ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ rí wọ́n yẹn tí 5-star hotel yẹn ò bá san kankan òun máa expose wọn 2015 10 years later tó ń tweet lórí gist lover ó ń sọ pé Àpábí ò fẹ́ pààyàn kan Àpábí ò pa woman kan tó lóyún fún Àpábí ò pa ilé ìpààyàn and you are there in one of the payings the planning of the payings and you're all quiet. The latest one is now in my hands. It's VDM sọ̀rọ̀ pa the list of the EFCC might take down many celebrities because Tinubu wants to know their source of income. He has power. He's the president. The EFCC list is here. Gbogbo àwọn tó ń fi politician London owó, tó ń kó fún politician. Ẹ wá mú owó, ẹ sọ̀rọ̀ Mohbad di ọ̀rọ̀ tẹ́ máa ṣe lówó. Àdúrà fetí ẹ̀ sílẹ̀ níbi tó bá wà. Ní alẹ́ ọjọ́ yẹn, okay, story yẹn kò tiẹ̀ add up. Because Wunmi ó ti bára ẹ̀ jẹ́ sórí Arise. Ẹ rò pé àwòrán. Ngba te your sorry arrest Tony ngba say it was just a sorry TVC òun fi elbow ẹ̀ hàn Nigerians. It was just a tiny injury over here, nothing big. Dori arrest. He died in the hospital 20 minutes later. Mohbad ò kú ní hospital 20 minutes later. Eropa Suni Perez wá gbé statement jáde. Perez ni he did not die in the hospital. He was brought in dead and we have already said this in September 2023 for her to come up and Rise News. Shout out to everybody at Perez. Very good PR team in that hospital. Oh, le ma parọ́ kiri à ń gbogbo ẹ̀. Àdúrà oúnjẹ wo ló ṣe nínú ilé yẹn lálẹ́ ọjọ́ yẹn nígbà tí Ìyábọ̀ Òjó arrive. You know the good sweet part of this whole investigation was that there were 15 people living in the house. In your márùn wà nílé yẹn tó ti bá mi sọ̀rọ̀. They are the ones that helped me solve this case. The 5 people that spoke to me. And in journalism, you cannot reveal the source. You protect the source. So literate behavior. Give us your proof. Journalists do not give you proof of anything. That's David Honde in journalism. She ain't a blogger and to the journalist to us already investigative journalist. To man give Google proof. You don't give proof of anything. You protect the source. Okay, ton she armed robbery. Wajule mi bado. Ento video te bugbe to fún mi ní footage. She mama ma koruko ẹ sínú story ni. You protect the source. Àwọn tó wà nílé yẹn ti sọ nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ fún mi. Mohbad even died before they even left that house, for all I care. But I know he died on the 11th, early hours of 11. Don't tell me he died on the 12th. A máa sọ nǹkan fún yẹn, ẹ máa sọ sọkúsọ. Àwọn kan wá jókòó abroad nítorí pé wà ní monetizable area. Ẹ can explain what that means. Monetizable area. Ẹ wá pawó lórí Mohbad. Ẹ cash in lórí Mohbad. I'm not in... Let me tell you people, because a lot of people don't know this Papariano. There's only 6 countries in the world. Tematic Bowolori TikTok. Big money, views, don't pay. Instagram can give views in Africa. Okay? TikTok will give in Africa. Tobawa in France, Italy, Germany, UK, Spain, at the US, Nicolo Magba views. Okay, mo ti calculate views me. Mo ti lọ video, the highest view on my page, okay, was 1.2 million. For that video alone was $400. Imagine if I was sitting in America or the UK or Germany or France or Italy. Mama Pawoni, this is the reason to carry much live TikTok every fucking day. The sister of an alleged buyer. I'm a word professor, MURDER. Sister, Karima nurse, ìgbà wo ló ń lọ sí hospital, ìgbà wo ló ń ṣiṣẹ́, ìgbà wo ló ń lọ síbi iṣẹ́, wàá jókòó sórí TikTok every day òfin pa instant dollars. You need to know the financial reasons behind many of these people. And that's not to say nobody can create content. Anyone can create content as they wish if they're living in US, UK, and all the monetized countries. But the length they are coffee joko sorry TikTok. Talking power lórí Mohbad. Àti one of Bukky Jesse. Bukky Jesse told suffer when you on Facebook. You can't believe in any of my reports. In the beginning, October 2023. Apologize. Mo take apology. Gbogbo wọn lọ power lórí case now. You know, Mr. Aloba, I have a WhatsApp. I don't use WhatsApp, but I have a WhatsApp for my business, which is not like a lot of people coming in there. So I speak to Mr. Aloba on there. And the man doesn't talk much to me because for some reason he's scared to talk to me, and I don't know why. You know, when I talk to him, it's just like I've only spoken to him. Let's tell the truth now. I've only spoken to Aloba 3 times on WhatsApp. The first time was I requested an interview with him. The second time is when he accepted and I interviewed him. And the third time was maybe last month with regards to this whole inquest thing. In October of 2024, the DPP announced that Mohbad's toxicology is back from America and that we will announce it very soon. October, November koja, December koja. New Year's Day 2025, mo complain for 3 months to pay DPP. You said you announced, it's now 3 months. Iba wole ma announce it. Mo de bere second question lower DPP. DPP, toxicology America to jade ní May 2024, lórí cable NG. To go all across the internet, pay Mohbad's autopsy and toxicology are out. Was it fake? It was fake. And this is the reason why I was fighting for my life. It was as if I was fighting for my life, at least on Daddy Freeze. Money Freeze, kini you right? In you leni acetaminophen lori, lori toxicology report. E jẹ́ ká gbàgbé the word acetaminophen, but paracetamol ní l'America. Tí wọ́n bá sọ pé ṣe toxicology test ní America, paracetamol ò lè wà nínú body Mohbad, nínú autopsy Mohbad after 7 days underground. 7 days underground, soil, temperature, ants, bugs, gbogbo ẹ̀. Mo ní wọ́n bend orí ọmọ ẹ̀ because wọ́n break ọrùn ẹ̀ ni. Ẹnìkan puncture carotid artery ẹ̀ lọ́rùn ẹ̀ ṣe look like that. They made Nigerians feel that his neck was bent because the coffin was small. They broke his neck. Injury ló ní lórí carotid. Ibi tọ́lọ́run dẹ̀ ti máa fìyà jẹ wọ́n ní pé ńgbà tán exhume Mohbad. I have that video. It's on Kemi Talks Media TikTok. And tó bá fẹ́ wò, mo ní a small TikTok. Aside from this one, Kemi Talks Media. Ẹ lọ follow ẹ̀. 3,000 people wà bẹ̀. Àwọn personal videos mi ló wà bẹ̀. Kẹ́ scroll down. Mo ṣe ẹ̀yin èèyàn tẹ́ ń gbọ́ mi. Ẹ lọ gbogbo yín kẹ́ lọ follow Kemi Talks Media TikTok nsìn because tẹ́ bá scroll down sísàlẹ̀ síbẹ̀rẹ̀ mo ṣe 10.
Ẹ jẹ́ tí wọ́n bá máa mix ẹ̀ torí English platform ni platform.
I
bá máa mix ẹ̀ pẹ̀lú English.
Kemi Talks Media TikTok. I want everybody to follow that page and scroll down to the bottom. I did a 10-chapter docu-series in Yoruba for the Ikorodu people. I just called it Ikorodu. For people in Ikorodu who have been on this thing for 18 months and don't know exactly what happened to Mohbad and why the process is so slow. I have posted in the comments now. I want everybody to follow Kemi Talks Media. Scroll to the bottom. It's all in Yoruba, but go and listen to what I put in chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mohbad's body, okay, could not have been showing what drugs they had on that autopsy report and that toxicology report they claim came from America. There was paracetamol in there, impossible. I'm a pharmacist, 36 years. Paracetamol's half-life is not that long. It will be gone in 24 hours. There was diphenhydramine 50 milligram injection there, something that we don't market in Nigeria in injectable, came out, and where did he get it from? His sister-in-law is a nurse. Some people said that the sister-in-law once came out to Daddy Freeze to say something about she always sends medicines home for Mohbad, blah, 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 blah. Even if she did, who injected him 50 milligrams of diphenhydramine that night? The nurse didn't have that in his list. Àbí Wunmi ló injected ní diphenhydramine because sleeping medication ni at the end of the day. Wọ́n ló máa ń drug ẹ̀ láti lọ ṣe hook up or lọ ṣe whatever. But at the end of the day, I just said the whole thing was fake. That toxicology test is not consistent to somebody that's been buried for 7 days. I'm exhumed in America after years gone, months, years. So at the end of the day, ìjàmbá bẹ́ àwọn èèyàn bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí bú mi lórí freeze. Nurse kan ó dé ń bẹ̀. Nurse kan, I don't know where the nurse, London nurse kan, who is not a full nurse. Ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí bú mi, ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ṣoríṣiríṣi. At the end of the day, mo bínú kúrò lórí show freeze ni freeze wá bá mi lu DM kí n máa padà bọ̀ kí n jọ mo ní mi ò wá mọ́ o.
I'm sorry, do you mind if I quickly throw in just one short question? So there was a question that was raised here the other time about chain of custody, like that is a mandatory process that it has to register in a particular local government. Like, do you know about that?
No, I don't know about that. Nothing has to register in any local government. Ọmọ mi bá kú of such thing in Nigeria. Ọmọ mi nǹkan kan nu case ọmọ mi ò ní register. Okay, of course, kọ́lọ̀ má jẹ́ kí èèyàn rí nǹkan burúkú. Tí nǹkan kan bá ṣe ọmọ mi, okay, like for example, see, EndSARS ni ma fi ń ṣe example. If my son was actually at EndSARS, nígbà tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí open fire at Lekki toll gate at different people, Nigeria na mi ò ní sùn since that day because ọmọ mi yàtọ̀ sí everybody tó wà ní Lekki toll gate. My child is an American citizen. Ibi tá ma ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ war nìyẹn. Màá dẹ̀ gbé State Department wọnú case yẹn and nǹkan tó máa blow ẹ̀ up fún gbogbo àwọn other protesters nìyẹn because ẹ kàn bọ́ síbẹ̀ nítorí Buhari ní kẹ́ lọ clear gate ẹ wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí open fire. Now the massacre is a whole different thing. There wasn't a huge massacre in that position where they should stand on it. I did a whole documentary on it. Nigerians don't watch my documentaries because they've told them not to watch it. The media has been told not to post. Shemari, don't post me lori punch. Don't post me lori any media. They don't. Even Instablog doesn't post me because I only post my own truth. And to bad fair, that's why my Facebook is now 740-something thousand people. People are coming into my Facebook. They're coming in droves. Otola and Sombe, Kemi Talks, search Facebook. At the end of the day, what I want to say is this. That toxicology test was fake. Between April, May, June, July, August, but the toxicology test had come out on cable NG, mo blast cable NG, because I knew what happened. And Nikoni no Lagos State government, lo sanwó fún cable NG, don't look cable NG, let's post fake information. Why would that something be real? And then the DPP is coming out in October saying, we have it now. So which one do we have in November? The media never ask questions. So toxicology test, well, lawari ni May and April. Was it fake? And it because the media does not do accountability in Nigeria. A minimum blast DPP, lori social media. That's January day, 3 months, DPP. Announcement that. I hope all of you saw what the DPP said 2 days ago. We will be releasing Mohbad's autopsy and toxicology test in 4 weeks. Also to the 4 weeks. Oh, releasing Kokon. There was no investigation into Mohbad's death. No investigation. Email Ayilara tó wà lọ́wọ́ mi. Ọjọ́ tí n bá post ní Nigerian police ma fall. Mo ti sọ fún Muyiwa. Mo ti sọ fún ẹ o. Anytime tí bá ti contact Muyiwa lórí WhatsApp mi. Lórí business WhatsApp Muyiwa kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀? Gbogbo drugs tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Delta State. Ẹ jẹ́ ká sọ̀rọ̀. A máa ṣe show pẹ̀lú NDLEA on this one. At the end of the day, bí Muyiwa ṣe máa ń kí mi, mommy, the golden woman of our time. Because Muyiwa máa ń pè mí ní the golden woman. Muyiwa bá sọ golden woman yẹn mọ́ because Muyiwa did the fiery woman of your time. Tó o bá sọ fún ẹgbẹ́ tó kù nípa case Mohbad pé he's going to places he shouldn't be going.
Dr. Kemi, sorry, this is the IT guy. Just a very quick one.
Yes, IT guy.
Yeah, so I'm kind of wondering because at some point, Mohbad got involved with the NDLEA.
Yeah.
Is there any form of association to that situation?
What's it clear? IT guy, just explain part. Let me explain this in English to you. IT guy, in February of 2022, I joined the NDLEA as a volunteer because I didn't like what was going on in the island with regards to raids and information and misinformation. The NDLEA said they were really glad to have me. So they invited me to come on their spaces every Friday for 30 months since February 2022. I'm a member of the panel, and about 4 or 5 times I have actually been a speaker on different topics. Now, every night, I'm no longer on the NDLEA spaces, but I went there 2 Fridays ago, and I'm going to be a speaker in an upcoming one. What happened was, everybody listen carefully because we see about it on Toti Daluruni. February 2022, a week after I started with the NDLEA, Yabojo and Tonto used an information. No, don't let me bring them in first. No, February 2022, a week after I started with the NDLEA, there was a raid at the Malian house. The NDLEA raided the Malian house. They got credible information that something was going on, a drug party was going on. So they busted in there and they found a room full of people who were seated on either side of the walls of the room. In other words, one side of the wall, people, the other side, people, and everybody was high and they were smoking something. They arrested everybody, collected a stash of drugs, and they detailed the amount of drugs they collected, like certain kilograms of loud, certain kilogram of crack, all that. Then they went outside and seized a white Lexus, brand new, no number plates, and inside the Lexus, more drugs. So during that raid, Naira Marley was not in the country. He was in Sweden, and he went to do a show. When he finished in Sweden, I messaged Naira Marley on WhatsApp, and I said, Naira, ma bonli. Then I left a voice note. Naira ma bonli NDLEA raid ile elaliano. Why arrest so many people? Tetema bonli. Naira did not reply me. Instead, I saw the blue marks that says he has read my message, or at least somebody has read my message on his phone. Naira was on the plane, and when he landed, he tweeted that the NDLEA mistreated all my artists and blah, blah, blah. During the raid, there was a video that was filmed by an NDLEA operative. That video was sent to me exclusively. A minimal post video of Wumi to NDLEA officer. Sheyi was behind Wumi. Sheyi is Mohbad's manager. Okay, at that time, Sheyi was just another member of the Malian house with all of them. Sheyi was shouting and screaming. She's the one that looks like a guy. And I think she's a lesbian, and she has blonde hair. Sheyi was shouting, Wumi, no, Wumi, no. Everybody remembers the video. It's online. So Wumi was trying to attack an NDLEA officer. She was batshit high. That's what we call it in America. Bat, B-A-T, shit, crazy. But she was batshit crazy and batshit high. The drugs was on her. So she had no idea she was about to hit an officer carrying a submachine gun. You know what I mean? Imagine that was a DEA officer. I want to shoot her and I had to pardon. I saw DEA officer. The NDLEA officer did not even bother to hit her or anything. But Yegbe Bondani, to tell you that she could have lost her life that day. At that point, there's a video for that. It's in the video. Get inside, get inside. The NDLEA got very aggressive. Time Mohbad escape. So they were not arrested. So, but on escape, the very next day, very early in the morning, around maybe 6 a.m., even 5:30, I got a call from Manny Essien. Manny Essien is the host of the morning show on Cool FM. Manny has been there for 27 to 30 years. Manny Wani, Dr. Kemi, I need you on the show this morning. When is the show? I need you on the 8 o'clock hour. And in 3 hours, I have enough time to get ready. But to the 8 o'clock, Timani introduced me to Cool FM. Video Timon earlier, YouTube me, the video of the Cool FM interview. So I went live on Cool FM and I spoke about the Malian raid yesterday. And I said everything that I knew and what happened and all that. After my interview, that was it. Now, you are going to hear some things now. Hey, my one song heroes in Nigeria. Hello, page earpiece. Hello, first comments. Lori birthday, Mr. Onyema. Laroy. Hello, first comments. Hello, video to mo post. On song heroes one ta kokin sọ̀rọ̀ ni. Nǹkan tí Onyema ṣe fún mi mi ò rí sójú dé ni. Nǹkan tó ṣe fún mi nígbà tí mo kúrò ní Port Harcourt prison. Ó ní mo fi wish happy birthday. It's going viral over there. But let's come back to Mohbad. What did I do? Okay. Marua, Chief Marua, IT guy, Chief Marua, NDLEA chairman, NDLEA chief. Chairman Marua, former governor of Lagos State, General Army, he was having back surgery in America. So while he was in the hospital in America, TNDL ti raid Malian house, don't arrest àwọn Femi Baba Femi spokesman NDL had to contact Marwa. Èmi wá kọ lẹ́tà sí Femi email. Mo ní Femi mo fọlọ́run bẹ̀, nǹkan burúkú ló ṣẹlẹ̀ yìí o. Naira Marley ẹ̀kan péré ni mo ti meet láyé mi ní funeral Baba Siwa Savage in September 2021, 6 months ago. We are now in February of 2022. Ẹ ṣàánú àwọn ọmọ yìí. I am a music journalist aside from every other news beat that I've worked in. And I know that these children, their career will end now because they back convict one, they prosecute someone, they would not be able to travel abroad. You can't work British citizen, no, Naira Marley than a British citizen. The others will not be able to go out. I have seen it in America and I've seen it in Canada. Canada does not allow people with gun charges in. Many rappers were denied entry into Canada when I was there. I was a music journalist and a music publicist in Canada. So I've seen it, and I knew that Omar Balibel Yeje, because Naira Marley won't be able to get his artists to perform in London, US, or anywhere outside Nigeria. One Africa, they're popular. Dubai, New York. But they run One Africa. At the end of the day, when he gets opportunities, he had Zinoliski, he had Mohbad, he had a lot of artists. So mo bebe mo collect as Femi Joba mi be chairman. You know Mr. Baba Femi called the chairman in his hospital bed in New York. When he asked Kemi what alternative that she wants for them. Let them do rehab. I will supervise it personally and I will do the PSAs for them. Nǹkan tí mo ṣe nìyẹn tí gbogbo Nigeria ò mọ̀ o. Táwọn èèyàn máa bú mi, táwọn máa disrespect me. Gbogbo jẹ́ tí mo ti ṣe fáwọn Malians. Kò tiẹ̀ tó pé káwọn èèyàn
Ejo, take it easy. Emma was overtly emotional. Ejo, I understand. Ejo, Shetibo. So guys, just wait a little bit. She's gonna be back.
She's gonna self-regulate. Just.
It's okay. She's gonna be back. Just wait. Yeah, before she comes back, this was one of Naira's posts at the time Mohbad was arrested, where Naira Marley posted that NDLA has released Mohbad after physically assaulting him. And there comes the question of bitter essay, like, then did Mohbad lie about the watery substance that he said was given to him? And who are these people who gave Mohbad that watery substance? Somebody have to be responsible, because that watery substance really caused damages to Mohbad. So who were those people? Is Naira Marley correct about this post that NDLA physically assaulted Mohbad and then released him? So, I mean, where do we stand? And for NDLA to be saying today that they never arrested Mohbad. So that's a contradiction with Naira Marley's post. Naira Marley said they assaulted him, then released him. NDLA claimed they never arrested Mohbad. So which one do we stand on?
Papayago, but that night they took.
Sorry, Dr. Kemi, are you back? So that, please let me just be sure that she's fine. Hello, Dr. Kemi, are you back? Dr. Kemi. We can't hear you any longer. You're muted. I don't know that she's still speaking. We cannot hear you. Hello, Dr. Kemi.
Okay, got my first one sing. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Emma about emotions, you know. And
no, emotions. See, but only continue láti mú. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n sọ̀rọ̀. Emma bad train of thought me. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n continue.
All right.
Okay, my time is precious. I charge people now to even have me on their live, and I'm not charging all of you. I know you're helping. So at the end of the day, okay, when I went on Cool FM, I did the interview. I spoke to Femi Baba Femi, who wrote Marwa, who called Marwa in New York. Marwa said, what does Kemi want to do for them? I said, I want to put them in rehab and supervise their rehab, and I will do their PSAs. For people that don't know PSA, public service announcement. So I wrote the public service announcements, and then they went to rehab. During the rehab, The rehabilitation centers, Mutin she rehab for 35 years. I'm a drug abuse expert in America. President Clinton, Governor Glenn Denning, Congressman Mfume, Congressman Rupersberger, Senator Mikulski, 3 congressmen, 3 senators, and the United States Department of Justice honored me. America Lufumini first green card me. This is my job, and I did it volunteer. I was just a pharmacist. Only in the White House. Only NIW visa, national interest waiver. John Torio long, cellulaire. There are many things about Kemi Oluloyo people don't know. So with that being said, mo rehab. I mean, mo promote NDLEA rehab during my 30 months campaign with them. So about Fiwonsi Rehabilitation Center kan leko. Tó bá kọ́kọ́ wọ rehab, the first thing tó máa ṣe fún ẹni wọ́n máa gbẹ̀jẹ̀, wọ́n máa gba urine, wọ́n dẹ̀ máa find àwọn drugs tó wà nínú tiẹ̀. Nǹkan tó wà nínú urine àtẹ̀jẹ̀ Mohbad yàtọ̀ sí nǹkan tó wà nínú urine àtẹ̀jẹ̀ Zino or ẹ̀jẹ̀ the other 5 people tó arrest lórí list. Ṣé bá ní pé kán lọ mú list yẹn wá? Mariwa request list àwọn tó arrest alẹ́ ọjọ́ yẹn lẹ́kọ̀ọ́. When the list arrive, ṣé wọ́n send ẹ̀ sí mi? Mariwa send mi ní copy mo dẹ̀ wò. Ileri Oluwa Oladimeji Aloba was not there. Wunmi Adebanjo was not there. So wọ́n ti were vindicated. Ìgbà tó drag NDLEA wọlé, NDLEA ti ṣe tí wọ́n dẹ̀ send letters to Nigerian police. We have done our job. Good luck with the investigation. Ibi tí Tonto àti Iyabo ti dá case rú nìyẹn. Now, let's go back to that rehab. So different drugs in different people. This is the reason why I question the fact that Sanwo-Olu said they should send a toxicology test to America when it is done every day in Nigeria, in hospitals, in rehab centers, everywhere. Oni mo ṣe àwọn videos tí mo ṣe ní Yorùbá fún àwọn ará Ìkòròdú on what happened to Mohbad ní Dr. Kemi, ní Kemi Talks Media lórí TikTok, yellow logo, ẹ lọ síbẹ̀ gbogbo yín follow ẹ kẹ́ lọ wo weekend la wà ẹ lè wo throughout Sunday chapter 1 to 10 because àwọn ará Ìkòròdú understand àwọn kìíní. Ìkòròdú people don't understand the dynamics of what's happening, so you have to put it in Yoruba for them in layman's terms.
Sure. And to try to get something from that NDLEA arrest, are you saying the NDLEA never arrested Mohbad?
No, they never arrested him and Wunmi. They're the two
who gave him the watery substance then?
No, listen, because one cut me off. Papariano, my sorrow, cut me off.
I'm just trying to get that clarity.
Let me continue talking. So now, you can't do a toxicology test for someone dead, but yet it's done every day in all the rehab centers and everything. Okay. Aside from that, everybody's stuff in their urine is different. That's why you know what kind of rehab you're going to give them. As a pharmacist, I headed the rehab center of Johns Hopkins Bayview. Okay. I was the pharmacist of the outpatients at the Bayview Rehab Center. Johns Hopkins is the top hospital in the country. And I say in the country, in the world. I want come at Tamafuni ibuprofen. I want come at Tamafuni liquid flexeril for muscle relaxant because their muscles are constricted. The ibuprofen is for the pain, 800 milligrams 3 times a day. And then we're going to give them promethazine. Promethazine is for antiemetic. They are going to vomit everything that's in the system very violently. So tabati for one promethazine, I was sent one losile, want to detox me. They will come for 4 straight days. So who depend lori formula nkotama fuen. Nkota fisinu bottle water for Mohbad is not the same as nkotama fisinu bottle water for Zino. So Mohbad, Emma Woro 2022 February, Mohbad got a different concoction. When they were all detox, they were now released from detox. When Zinoliski was going home, we gave Zino a PSA that he will read. Who does your video? Does anybody remember Zino's PSA? Papa, I know you live around Kobe and Lowo. Zino did a PSA in the car. Hello, everybody. I'm going to rehab. Say no to drugs. A minimum kokini here now. A minimum PSA fun. Nkoto solo video. A minimum ko. Mo de friend DLA. What the phone rehab?
Please let me play this for you so that you will understand the direction of my question. It's very short, please. This is Mohbad.
Kilo friend, share video bottle water. No, that's not it. No, my train of thought. Stop it. Mighty player. My train of thought.
What?
Mighty player. Papa,
I want you to touch them. All right,
mo ti rí fídíò yẹn gbogbo èèyàn ti rí ó máa bá train of thought.
I know. I'm trying to
you are
see
going
that
ahead
you
of
make
me.
you
mo ti fẹ́ wọnú clinic o mo ti fẹ́ hospital o mo ti
this
fẹ́ wọnú
particular line of thought.
o mọ̀ pé intelligent people mi ò sọ pé
kò sí problem tẹ́ bá ti ṣe tán ẹ lè
jẹ́ kí n sọ̀rọ̀ let me explain this very fast to everybody. The detox medicines that person A takes is different from person B. After they were all detox, they went home. Zeno put out a video in the car saying that say no to drugs. The line he read was written by me and they went home. Okay, that was February 22nd, 2022. Fast forward, October 5th, 2022. Mohbad was beaten up. He went to the Malian house to collect his things and to tell them he didn't want them to manage him anymore. But forgetting that he had a contract. He had brought his father and mother there to beg Naira Marley. It doesn't work that way. You bring your lawyer there. The music industry was not explained to Mohbad before he went into it. And it's a lesson for the new artist. So when it didn't work, he went there forcibly to tell them, I don't want you anymore. I'm here to pick up my stuff. They beat him up. He was rushed to the hospital. His blood pressure was high. And that's where you have to go and pick up my tweets, what I said. Mutuwakwe MK, Sibe Kumabo, Dr. MK, one of my favorite doctor friends on Twitter. When you MK wa blood pressure machine at saturation on my 80% saturation. One low more you. More tweets. Naira ile aye o le to yi. To ba ribu nkan ti Naira Marley in tweets. Mo regret nkan lori àwọn tweets yen. Naira was tweeting some very abrasive stuff. And I was replying him. Well, guess what happened? I regret something. I said, Naira, let's end it here. The whole industry was watching, but nobody was tweeting. Should be industry, Sherry? Naira Marley ended up doing what I told him to do. Delete all those tweets and just end this stuff. So Naira deleted the tweets, leaving my own tweets there. At the end of the day, I regretted because if Naira had not deleted those tweets or had screenshot it before he deleted it, about 7 tweets. It giant Lego now. Anyway, that's it. Now, October 5th, 2022, ọjọ́ yẹn ni Mohbad tó wà ní hospital tó lie down lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ blood pressure machine àti oxygen saturation machine, which is the video you wanted to play to me. You didn't need to play it to me. I know all that stuff. I watch this madness unfold, and this is why I'm writing a book. At the end of the day, when you fast forward to that day, and you come one video Mohbad in the hospital room, Mohbad one recall February 2022. Shoti yeyinsi papayano. October 5th, 2022, ni wọ́n ṣe video yẹn. Mohbad wá sọ àwọn nǹkan nínú video yẹn. Ìgbà tí mo débẹ̀, wọ́n fún mi ní bottle water pẹ̀lú nǹkan kan nínú ẹ̀, wọ́n ní kí n mú. Mohbad was simply explaining the detox medication he got 8 months earlier. Nigerians now took that footage and said the NDLE poisoned him. Tonto and Yabo failed to tell Nigerians that the footage contains a narration of what happened to Mohbad in February in a rehab center after he turned himself in to get rehab. Mohbad escaped on that day with Wunmi, but they turned themselves in the next day. At any clue yet Nigerians to pay attention. They did not pay attention to the beating in October, and they did not pay attention to the February video when he turned himself in. But if you hide overnight, if anything happened to me, blame Naira Marley and Malian music. Can you pay Nigerians to focus on Nkoto Solo join? So at the end of the day, 8 months later, was February to October. But one Ludada Tombe, Lomo Yewashe recall conversation pẹ̀lẹ́nì kan tó film ẹ̀ saying wọ́n dẹ̀ gbé wa lọ Syria wọ́n fẹ́ mi ní nǹkan mú bottle water. Àwọn Nigerians were turning into something else thanks to Yabo and Tonto that they poisoned Mohbad that year. And it was not that year. It was not 2023. That footage was showing Kotimoso Papariano. IT guy, she understand the Kotimoso IT guy. We had a footage of someone in October 5th, 2022, recalling an incident that happened in February 2022.
I am with you on the cut and paste process.
Yeah.
And I think that what you've injected into it, without any sort of like interference, as you said, your line of thought actually makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
But I think this is the same thing that we got on an audio. On an audio that was actually sort of like plastered on a video that came out recently, and people didn't realize that we saw that right after Mohbad passing away.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm with you.
So what Yabo did, and Tonto, they moved that footage to 2023, saying that it was part of the bullying, and the NDLA now poisoned him. That is when the NDLA now called me. Motukuro Nigeria, NDLA back me. Do you know the first thing they asked me? Believe it or not, you can really frame up the NDLA. No back with Marua. Ni DSS ba gets involved. Ni Sanwo-Olu ba lọ sórí social media. Tony, we are involving the DSS in the Mohbad case. Nigerians didn't understand why the DSS was going to be involved. I knew what was going on. Because on the 15th of September, the date won't see Mohbad, the day after, don't see Mohbad, or join any Mohbad, police at NDLE, at DSS. I worked with them. These are not things you tell people. I worked with them from the 15th to the 30th of September. During that 2-week period, someone now came and told Nigerians that we're involving the DSS. Do you know what was about to happen? Tonto and Yabo averted a disaster. With the Sokini, Tonto and Yabo would have been lounging in jail now. DSS can report in your, or can release in your, like next week, next month. So DSS can release in your Lori social media campaign, free Yabo Joe. One say 2 years in DSS mafi keep it. Because Chairman Marwa felt like he was defamed. Marwa sees drugs for like the past 5 years. And in what day, Ekurani as Nollywood girls, it was a Marwa poison Mohbad. More sequence and timeline in Koto Shele. Ewa move video. Mohbad she October 2022, BC October 2023. It wants a NDLA poisoning. Police warning, we want to investigate the NDLA. In Femi Bansakiri. When they investigate some, when they collect us, when they good luck with the Mohbad investigation. That's where they had to include me. Do you know why they included me? They needed my interview with Cool FM. Shetiri bye. Because this is the reason why the media has to continue talking about stories. Because te ba stories ko si record ko shele. Journalism is a rough draft of history. So the interview I did with Cool FM, and for me personally, interview any entity, I must have a copy of what I did, especially radio. Cool FM on any topic. Man, he sent me clip, but they keep clip me. He may have the post a story page to me. So clip yellow vindicates NDLA. The clip showed everybody that it was February 22nd that they were arrested and they were raided and they went to rehab, and everything I did with them in rehab, begging Marwa to, not prosecute them and let them go to rehab. So that vindicated the NDLA right there. And the whole drink at the rehab was just what they got at rehab. So at the end of the day, that is what happened. What distorted information and misinformation is very good today. It's so good. It's a bad thing, but it's so good today on social media for the people who are the haters of the truth. So that's how they use the heavy audience. Both of those girls have 6 million people following them on Instagram. They use that audience to distort information. And that is it. So, rehab, somebody in the comments said rehab without their consent. No, they had to go on rehab because Kemi Oluloyo begged for them to go on rehab. Okay? Adesoye, please shut the hell up. You have to understand what we have been talking about. If I did not beg for them, they would have prosecuted them. The general was prosecuted and he has a conviction on his record. The general the general was convicted of selling tramadol, 2,000 tablets. Comedian. Plead guilty. When they're convicted, feel from the embassy. Have you ever been convicted of a crime? Yes. Details below. Drug trafficking. You are not traveling. Wake up, people.
Papayano.
The NDLA was vindicated. I was the one that gave them the rehab. There are two things in NDLA. If they arrest you for drugs, it's either you are rehabbed or or you are prosecuted. However, if you're a kingpin, they're not sending you to any fucking rehab. They're sending you straight to prison. You have to be lucky. I'm not there anymore. I don't do anything for anybody. Stop using drugs. It's one of my campaigns. So at the end of the day, IT guy, that's the answer to your question. They just distorted the stuff. Mr. Marwa was telling the DSS to arrest Yabo and Tonto, a minimum ba bebe. Mo se jack pẹ̀lú mi tó, a minimum tu ba bebe nkona yen, because DSS ready for now. She you read DSS in case Mohbad nsìn. Wọ́n ti lọ now. Ó ní nǹkan tán wá ṣe now. Ẹ máa ronú yín. Ẹ̀yin Nigeria, ẹ̀yin ọmọ Nigeria, ẹ máa ronú yín. Ó ní nǹkan tán wá ṣe. Side yẹn ti tán. Yabo and Tonto would have been with the DSS now. Ẹ fẹ́ lọ disgrace Mariwa. Ẹ fẹ́ lọ pé Mariwa ní poisonous and to poison Mohbad. Ordinary person, a whole military general that was governor, and to law school America, to law school UK, to law school everywhere. You don't do that though. At the end of the day, that is it.
Excuse me, ma.
Go ahead.
NDLA case. Rehab was it NDLA that did the rehab or you, ma?
No, I attend DLA la just shake but sorry rehab, right? Rehab is just taking somebody to a hospital that removes drugs from people's systems. A rehabilitation for 90 days. I don't know the prices today. At that time, 2022, 90 days need tramadol, and tramadol is 5 million for 90 days. So that's why ordinary people don't have money for this stuff. I demand educate on Lori Spaces on Fridays on NDLA Live, Lori Twitter. Now, what about any other drugs in your system? Methamphetamine, crystal meth, cocaine, different prices for different drug rehab. But the average person coming into the rehabs today are usually people who are on tramadol and ice. And it's 90 days, it's 5 million, now only to the 10 million. So, NDLA, what done, NDLA rehabilitation centers, which is totally free of charge. Now, Toba Losi Bobby. Not Bobby. Toba Losi Yaba left to Logba rehab. Yaba left was, when I was there in 2022, Yaba left was 500,000. And I went there and I took a tour with the medical director. 500,000 Yaba left. But Toba Losi private one. Show me Omabisi Mobile Estate Road. What? Nibi Tobi Kubana to Lonko Estate City. In Mobile Estate Road. Rehab to Alegbe is under scrutiny and people are like very worried about. I'm not trying to mess OB's business, but building an estate near a rehab center is not really good for the community, says some people. But that rehab center there at the end of Mobile Estate Road, that one was charging 4 million for what Yaba left was. Yaba left is a mental hospital and mental health. Drug abuse is mental health. So Yaba left is a government hospital and that was 500K versus 4 million. So I have somebody I sent to Yaba left and he did very well. The person is in Canada now, their life is back to normal. But the NDLA centers now are opened in every state and it's free. The only catch with the free NDLA services is people say, if I go to the NDLA, my records will be out there. No, your records are confidential, just like the private. The only catch is that provisions in at the toiletries. That is the thing. It's like prison. Basically, when I say prison, in prison, provisions at Keni. Our private rehab, but normal supply. So, Kini catch him our loved ones. She be mobile she advert money our loved ones. To send them NDA rehab center. More provisions on Wabon Vita, Nido, sugar. De moshe on what coin at Sibu Toma Lu. Toma be for 3 months. Eco package or she mejo mewa. Kema wife kiwon. And that is what I said to people. So the rehab was done by the NDA. It was facilitated by the NDLA and myself.
Excuse me, ma. That means NDLA has a record of Mohbad.
A record of
submit RF1.
Koyemi, NDLA has what?
Mohbad's record.
Which record are you talking about?
As a person in his lifetime.
Yeah, because they arrested.
Medical record.
No medical record. You know, she said.
The medical record, and so arrest record.
No arrest. I'm not even talking about arrest now because if you play that video, Papayano.
Both of it, the NDLA has denied arresting Mohbad and also giving him any white substance.
Yes.
They did not give NDLA Kolofuni white substance. Rehab center Lofuni white substance. Rehab center is covered under privacy laws. Rehab center, mafuini medical records in koton for any kokon. Like Timbawa on drugs. Okay, I'm not a drug user, a drug addict. I'm a drug expert. And when a man for drug addict, boom, me, no drugs me. So if I'm on drugs, tap on me, on drugs. I don't want them giving what they treated.
John, please, can we just hear Mohbad? Let for the sake of others who haven't listened to it.
Oh, others can watch it, fine.
Yeah, it's okay. Let me just play for Mohbad, just 30 seconds. Please, let's just hear Mohbad. Then from Mohbad's own statement and draw out some certain conclusions.
Èmi nìkan mo mú kò sẹ́ni lọ́sọ̀ bí kò mú rẹ̀ wọ́n nìkan wà láìpàlẹ̀ ọ̀pọ̀ ọlọ́run tó jẹ́ mi rí mi nípa rẹ̀ ó máa ń fọkàn sáyà lórí ilé wájú ìjọba tí wọ́n dá wọn wá ní pé àyè mi ò bí mi báyìí ìgbà tí mo ṣe kọ́kọ́ náà èmi tó dáwọ́ mọ́ lórí tó dáwọ́ mọ́ lórí èmi gbogbo gbọ́ ológbàjà mo séwù sínú nínú fídíò rẹ̀ àwọn tí ó lọ sí jírí. Bàbá tí wọ́n sílẹ̀ bàbá ní bí mi máa bọ̀ lé wípé tí mo máa bọ̀ lé o ẹni kọ́ ẹ̀ ṣe wà bẹ́ẹ̀ tó wọ́n á treat mi bẹ́ẹ̀ tí ló lè sí mi too. Àti everybody fẹ́ pé ìṣẹ́ ọkọ̀ sọ pé Mohbad tí wọ́n lè sí mi oyè ó bá yẹ kí lọ́sọ̀ mi bá gbé so kí ni ìwọ́n wáyé fún mi kí ni Mohbad tó lè sí mi tó lè sí lọ́dọ̀ yìí.
Okay, so the question tí mo fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ni pé àwọn wo ló ní right láti arrest èèyàn láti máa fún nǹkan kan mú tó ẹni òun fọ́n sí pé wọ́n arrest wọ́n fún òun nǹkan mú.
Listen, NDLA ló ní right láti arrest Mohbad àti gbogbo àwọn tó ń lo drugs nínú ilé yẹn. Okay, ìgbà tó ń arrest wọn Mohbad escape ìgbà tó di next day wọ́n ní kó turn ara ẹ̀ in ó dẹ̀ turn ara ẹ̀ in. Àwọn tó ní right láti arrest yẹn àwọn tó ní right láti fún wọn ní nǹkan mu làwọn Kemi Oluloyo tán bẹ̀bẹ̀ pẹ̀lú NDLA chairman kọ́ má kó wọn lọ sí court láti prosecute.
Nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ mọ̀ ní pé ta ló fún nìkan mu ṣé àwọn NDLA yẹn náà ni àbí àwọn rehab center àbí tó ń lò fún ara rẹ̀.
alẹ́ kí n gbọ́ràn ní lórí kínní rehab center ló fún ní nǹkan mu ńgbà tí Kemi Oluloyo ní pé kí wọ́n kó wọn lọ sí rehab instead of prosecution in court to ma stop music career wọn. They will never be able to tour outside the country or go any country, period. But when they rehab center...
Sorry, àwọn olóko wọn lọ sí rehab.
Má interrupt me. Emma interrupt me. Mo ń sọ̀rọ̀. Emma jẹ́ kí lose friend. I don't remember things easily anymore. I'm now 61 years old almost. Listen.
All right.
When we now took them and gave them the option to do rehab, which is not something that's done. Mariwa was not happy. Ó fẹ́ kó ogun lọ sí court now. Go prosecute on lock one more. It will be
but
chaos.
He must have found something suspicious on them before taking them to court.
Yes, kilograms and kilograms of drugs was seized from the car, was seized from the house. I have everything, money records now. They would have been really messed up. Naira Marley's label would have crashed. Everything would have. Richie tweets more after that. But they organized rehab for I call us rehab to my law. What if one treatment, all of them? Mohbad nìkan ló ti sá lọ, adé ní kó turn ara ẹ̀yìn, ó dẹ̀ turn ara ẹ̀yìn, gbogbo wọn dẹ̀ lọ sí rehab. Ṣé nítorí Zino film tiẹ̀? Nǹkan tó wà ní system ẹ̀ náà fún ẹ̀ náà. Drug tó lò yàtọ̀ sí drug tí Zino lò. So ó wá ń sọ story yẹn fẹ́ nìkan nígbà tó ń lù ẹ́ 8 months later. Nigerians wá sọ story yẹn dẹ̀ nìkan fún ní nǹkan mu. Ó ń láti mú nǹkan yẹn. Or else he will not be detoxed. That was the agreement. And he was detoxed. Was he not detoxed? After he detoxed, did he not leave Naira Marley's label and started his own label until all this nonsense happened? And he went there simply to go and pick up the rest of his stuff and they beat him up. Do you see the sequence of events? That's why they call me investigative journalist. Ọlọ́run ló fún mi ní pharmacy degree lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ 36 years. 36 years. Am I respect iṣẹ́ tí mo ti ṣe? Am I respect èèyàn? My son said to me yesterday, Mommy, what if you were not a pharmacist? How would you be able to even decipher all these things? I've been clear about this all the time with you people. You cannot go to a detoxification area in drugs and think everybody's going to get the same drugs. And he filmed it. He was talking out of frustration. Okay? Can you please block somebody called Posh Kem? Just block that person. Hey, Joe. Hey, remove any. I'm reading your comments, Posh Kem. We're going to remove you. This is nonsense. Are you people stupid? Ṣé nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ níbẹ̀rẹ̀ ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní end? Orí gbogbo yín ò pé ni. People say, but you say that drug abuse ló pa lórí Daddy Freeze. Kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Daddy Freeze? September Daddy Freeze wá yàtọ̀ sí March ending 2025. Is that the same thing we're looking at now? Did we know things then that we didn't know then? That we didn't know now? I told you Mohbad died on the 11th, September 11, 9/11. And so for me, 12. Yaba post sorry TikTok, àbí Instagram, don't kick me. And she knew all along. Hypocrite of the greatest order. She knew all along. When Mohbad got to London, he was crying and begging Polo to file asylum. Polo no only file asylum for artists. Someone if Polo ni visa mo. Lie. Polo is a promoter. Ishe Polo ni come artists wala ti Africa come play outside the country. Ton ba fún visa Polo ma appeal. In the end, one artist ni visa because Polo ti assure embassy pé ó ma kó wọn padà wálé. But on be Polo ton sukun London pé ó fẹ́ padà sí Nigeria. There was something he was scared of. Somebody was trying to kill him. Polo, I can't do that though. I can't. You can't file asylum. Do you know how many people have run away? The Olympic team. The Special Olympic team for Ghana, they went to do Special Olympics. Lori wheelchair la won bobon yen wa. Mararun won ri won deni. They vanished into Europe. Toba dem has surface want to file asylum against country one. They don't want that. That's why when you're filing asylum, you don't open your mouth. You just go to the country you are going and file right there. At the end of the day, that's what happened with Mohbad. Polo deni mi o le file asylum won. If me visa for artist mi mo. Think about the bigger picture. He was scared of something. And then at the end of the day, he came back to Nigeria. But today Nigeria ton, ìjà bẹ̀rẹ̀ lórí visa tomo, paternity ọmọ. Kí ló gbé Mohbad lọ sí river pẹ̀lú Liam? Kí ló gbé lọ sẹ́gbẹ̀ river yẹn pẹ̀lú Liam? Tí Bella Shmurda lọ save Liam ni. Kí ló máa gbéyàn mentally láti lọ drown ọmọ ẹ̀ tó bá jọ ọmọ ẹ̀ ni? Ọ̀rọ̀ paternity ti wà lórí case èmi ni mo dárò paternity sílẹ̀. Ẹ lọ ṣe DNA test kẹ́mẹ́ tó lọ mọ́. Tẹ́ bá ṣe DNA test tán gbogbo yín lórí gbogbo àwọn news media Arise gbogbo yín all the news media were never asking.
And sorry, secondly, only very dark man ló dá ọ̀rọ̀ paternity yẹn sílẹ̀ mo máa ní pé
ìlẹ̀ dálẹ̀ èmi ni mo dálẹ̀ very dark.
Ẹ bá fòyìnbó sọ fún wọn.
Very Dark Man did not start the paternity stuff. It was me, and Very Dark Man took it off my platform. There's something called elevating platforms. If you have 1 million followers and you hear Kemi Oluloyo say something, you can.
So guys, listen to the DNA narrative. Okay, the DNA narrative is what she's about to substantiate.
I tweeted about Mohbad's son's DNA. 3 days later, VDM took that tweet and changed it to his own speech. It's called elevation narratives in social media. We are the ones that powered social media. We are the pioneers of social media. If somebody has more followers than you, if somebody's carrying 1.5 million followers and you are carrying 500,000 followers and they hear you say something, many people are glued to my page and they use my information for content. I don't compete with anybody. I'm not VDM. VDM could be an activist. It could be anything he wants. I am an investigative journalist, among other things. VDM now took the information 3 days later and put it out there. So people will think he's the one that started it. VDM has only mentioned my name one time. And he said, if you are not satisfied with what Kemi Oluloyo is saying, then sue her. That's what he was saying to Karimo in the beginning. Because Karimo was saying that Kemi Oluloyo was saying, Karimo called my house. He called my phone number that they leaked in those days. And he called it and she cursed me out and all that. I recorded her. Me, continue time that he posted. He posted at the right time. What she denied me, call me. Okay, and she refused to do an interview with me either. Okay, Karimo knows what happened. He's already said in her numerous videos. A fight on the top of the steps. The railing broke. A piece of the railing went into Mohbad's neck. His carotid artery busted. It's a soft case.
Paparino, she's saying the truth. I'm telling you the truth. Enu Kemi Oluloyo ni mo ti kọ́kọ́ gbọ́ nípa everything.
No, even me myself, because so I was very early in the case then. I heard it from her first. But the competition,
very dark man, so yeah.
Exactly.
Very dark man just jump into it.
He popularized it.
Paternity.
Exactly. Animation, he popularized it.
Sister Kemi kọ́kọ́ sọ ni, òun ló kọ́kọ́ sọ, Sister Kemi ló kọ́kọ́ sọ. So very dark man, ta ló mọ̀ kò lọ ẹ lọ́yọ̀. Ó kàn jump into the story.
Teba study Very Dark Man. Teba study Very Dark Man àtàwọn videos ẹ̀. Ẹ notice pé gbogbo nǹkan tó máa ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa èmi ti sọ days before. Okoman popularizing, we dem elevate. Because nǹkan tó wrong in that. There's nothing wrong with that. But nǹkan tó yẹ kẹ́ máa béèrè ni why come up with it? Nǹkan tó yẹ kí Nigerians máa béèrè ni pé why did Kemi Oluloyo started? Because that is the
no. I only feel pay for him to have started it the first is because he knew too much. So
if it was Tiwa Savage or Davido that Koko buried, they would give it another narrative. There is a reason that Nigerians should be asking, let me say something. Matilda GW64, my name is Oluloyo, not Oluloyo. That's the Igbo spelling. Igbos cannot spell my name right. Olunloyo.
Please, can I quickly ask a question?
Oluloyo is wrong.
Please.
Yeah.
Okay, before you ask your question,
let her ask.
A very important question. There was somebody, no problem. I'm coordinating here. Someone want me to ask Dr. Oluloyo this question that they want you to address the industrial gods. Wunmi said industrial gods don't want her to speak. Speak about what? Speak about the nurse killing her husband. If nurse truly kill her husband, how is the industrial god? Doesn't want.
That would be my second. I will answer that second. Let me finish this one with the DNA. The DNA story started because as an investigative journalist, that was the core of the case. What happened? I drew a timeline on what happened when they left the concert and how the whole thing unfolded with Liam involved. Liam was with them at the concert. On a normal basis, babies are not taken to concerts. You don't see Davido take any of his children to concerts at baby age Davido has children that he doesn't want people to see their faces anyway. Let's use another example. Cardi B is someone I know personally. Cardi B does not take any of her babies to her concerts at all. Many stars in America and Canada will not take their babies to their concert. Okay, Nigerian artists, the same thing. They don't take their babies to their concert. But for some reason, the baby was at the concert. A concert that could have been very dangerous for the baby to be at because they were protecting Mohbad because that was his first official concert over there. Now, it was when I did my 3-hour interview with Prime Boy that I got more information. People don't know that I interviewed Prime Boy on TikTok Live for 3 hours. I have it. You can go to my Facebook page on the video section. That interview now added more to what I felt because Prime Boy's bag was inside that car and he was left. Mohbad they punched moto. Mohbad punched the glass, punched the body of the motor. He had an injury in his hands. The injury in Mohbad's hand was in his fist. I hope everybody know their body parts. The fist is your hand. Your hand grabbed into itself. Knuckles. Okay. He punched something with it, which is glass and the body of the car. The photograph that Owon had showed the media at the press conference looks like a fist injury. And we knew it was a fist, but Wunmi went on TVC and held up her elbows. It was just a little thing here. Fist what he has was elbows. We saw pictures of Wunmi. That's another light she had. But anyway, now, what's happened with the bag? Okay, after the thing, they just drove off. Prime Boy had no ride. And he was stranded. That's when Cubana Chief Priest came to Prime Boy and said, it's okay, it is well, It was really well. Because if not for Cubana Chief Priest, Tolo miss riding, he did not get to the house with them. So Cubana Chief Priest was an angel in disguise in giving Prime Boy the major alibi. Prime Boy has told me his own section of the story, and so has the other 4 in the house who spoke to me anonymously. There's a driver that drove them home now. Do you know why the driver didn't show up twice at the inquest? He was summoned to the inquest. He did not show up both times. With the law, he's spoken to me and others. And at the end of the day, Kenon Jankpa, she to Abajoko saying Uber, buying motor to Jack by Loyoko. She don't drive Mongodon. They are listening and they're storing it into their brain. That's why God created the frontal lobe. Iwaju brain when the frontal lobe. Olomajeka recording kon play spray. Taba ti record it awa press play taba fe record le. Tí bá jáde nsin, tí mo rí obìnrin kan tó kiri mango àti watermelon níwájú ilé mi, tí mo ra mango, tí mo ra watermelon, tí mo padà sínú ilé mi. Ṣé mi ò lè fojú inú rí? I can recollect her. I can recollect what I saw, the face I saw. That's the frontal lobe. So the driver had recorded everything he heard them talking about, and he can press play to play it and tell you. So unfortunately, some people don't know how the body works. So now, that being said, one jump two things, a Canadian visa and alobi Liam, paternity Liam. Olola ti ṣe DNA test fún Liam. Oyari, because it bere janiye, oba drag ija wonule. The fight now went on top of the stage. The fight got toxic. You want to buy more Zomo? You will know that Zomo and all of them, people, Nigerians, our leaders have suffered us enough. Who is that person there? Firefox, Washiri, cerebellum versus cerebrum. Those are parts of the brain. Go and learn the human body. You are carrying expensive phones. Everybody's carrying an expensive phone. If you sell your phone today, only if you jump for 3 months, use it. Google. See what these parts of the brains do. So at the end of the day, when they now got to the house and the fight got toxic, Wunmi and Mohbad have a history of toxic fight. These are what the snitches in the house told me. Go back to the cemetery. When Wunmi arrived with the scarf on her head, told her Adosinu grave okwe. Go back to the cemetery and go and look at Wunmi's forehead. It has 4 bumps, swollen bumps. Mohbad no that they struggle. Mohbad struggles. Mohbad was stabbed in the neck and his carotid artery was busted. And when the carotid artery bursts, then your neck is deflated like a balloon that they threw pin inside. And that's why Ọlọ́run ṣèkà fún wọn. Ọlọ́run kì í ṣèkà fún yàn, but Ọlọ́run expose wọn. Because nígbà tán exhume Mohbad, ibi orí coffin yẹn ni livor mortis ti wá. There's 2 ways of decomposition, rigor mortis and livor mortis, R-I-G-O-R and L-I-V-O-R. I'm a medical professional, and you're in Nigeria.
4 signs.
Exactly. Livor mortis, ibitoti
algo mortis, livor mortis, algo mortis, rigor.
So those are the end ones before you turn completely into water. But look at the head of the coffin. When they took Mohbad out, you could see blood and water on that side where they stabbed him. In the carotid arteries, that's what God used to punish them. Why was blood coming out of that section? That is it. I want forensics experts in Iran. One protect Wunmi. Come on, man, boy. Come on. That's the second question here. What's the second question that you said? Somebody asked a question after there was a question, Paparanio. There was a question you asked now. What's that question?
Industrial gods. One in nurse low power common.
Industrial gods. Let me tell you what it is. If you remember, Papariano, if you remember the tweet that I tweeted and I said people that must be excluded from Mohbad's case, I tweeted that in 2024, everybody that should be excluded in Mohbad's case, Naira Marley, Sam Larry, Ayobami. Mo ṣe list wọn. Nurse nìkan, okay. Lókùnbẹ̀ àti one Ayobami. Okay. Ṣé ìyẹn náà pè ní spending?
Yes.
Okay. Àwọn tó wà ní list yẹn. So my tweet was vindicated. But however, this is what I told Nigerians. I said they have a plan. Okay, it's like Nigerians don't believe in Dr. Kemi. I said they have a plan. They're going to send Wunmi on a media tour. She's going to visit almost every TV and radio stations. A lot of the radio stations have declined to see her until the case is to the end. However, some TV stations will interview her. And when they interview her, she'll go there and lie and be the victim. 2 weeks after I said that, they saw the media. Hey, Mama vindicates me. What is sue me? Mama vindicates me. I consent the what's account me. Kenny, Dr. Kemi, you are the best. But what concern me 100K lano? Only everything you say come to pass. 2 weeks later, Wunmi was on a media tour and it started with the lowest of the food chain. You know what I mean by the lowest of the food chain? Today, ordinary NTA journalist kid that became a big one when he was big. One low podcast Today first. Lẹ́yìn Today, mo tó ń bọ̀ next TVC bá dé. Wọ́n ya photo, wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀. Wunmi show wọn ní elbow pẹ̀lú little injury. He died 20 minutes in the hospital. Lẹ́yìn Today, they went to BBC. Pidgin, Yoruba. Then BBC, they went to Arise. Bigger. Nigerians were hailing me on Facebook. Vindicated. Hey, Joema vindicates me. Just send money and say thank you. I need the money. Me only recoup 10K to mo $9. At the end of the day, lẹ́yìn tó ṣe gbogbo interview tán mo wá post mo ní ẹ máa wòran àwọn stations kan ò gbà wọ́n mi wọ́n fẹ́ bà reputations wọn jẹ́ ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá máa rántí yẹn you remember I was on Yomi Fabiyi's live right here on TikTok I said channels ò fẹ́ bà reputation wọn jẹ́ na best station in Africa ọmọ agbára nù until the case comes to the end when I went to Al Jazeera kí Al Jazeera sọ fún mi Al Jazeera ni Dr. Kemi the only way ẹ jẹ́ bá ń post account number mi ẹnì kan fẹ́ fún mi 100K o. 025 if I can TikTok block 025 418 4770. Okay, at the end of the day, so basically I now told people about the radio stations are not going to accept Wunmi. I was vindicated. How many radio stations interviewed Wunmi? None of them wanted her. And AIT stopped her. They didn't want her interview because they want to do what Al Jazeera wants. Al Jazeera said they sent a statement to the police. International media will not interview anybody until the police has said the latest in the investigation. The police has nothing to say because there's no investigation. They didn't investigate anything. So at the end of the day, that's why we can't go on international media yet. Same with CNN and anybody else you want interviewing us for Mohbad. So at the end of the day, the Dr. C children, they're the ones running that whole show now at AIT and all. They didn't want anything to do with her on their station. And of course, the channels people and other stations that are there. So at the end of the day, the point of it boils to the fact that I know what's going on. I'm the only one that investigated it. And I said the industrial gods, there are no industrial gods. Okay. So what they want to do is this. I'll tell you how Mohbad's case is going to end because I've almost finished.
Yeah, that is the question. That is the question. Finish it.
I will tell you exactly.
Yes, what is going to end all this, please?
This is how it's going to end. And I've had people come to me and cry and said, it must not end. Oh, please, oh, help us. I've done my best. Why am I writing a book? There could be two reasons I'm writing a book. To make money. That's the only reason people write books. First reason is the money. But the real reason I'm writing that book is to put information out there for history's sake. This is the reason that you write books, history's sake, and you do videos, because once we are gone, in 40 years, I won't be here. I'll be 100 years old. I might be here till 103 like my grandmother, but the fact is, journalism is a rough draft of history. If I don't write that book, because I was the only investigative journalist or only journalist, as a matter of fact, that actually investigated the case, I want to ground my name in history, that I told the truth. And the third reason is because of Ayilara's email. DCP Ayilara, the head of homicide in Kwanti, was promoted to CP in Akwa Ibom and died shortly after of prostate cancer. That's what we were told. But the email that Ayilara sent was very, very, very damaging. The email was to 3 people in the police force, 3 top cops. And the email was found inside his computer. People, try to watch TikTok videos about motivation. You would always say in 100 years, the cars we bought will not belong to us anymore. The house we bought will be living, somebody else will be living in there. Everything that Gojule will not even matter in 100 years. The year 2035, none of us will be here, including the newborn that was born last hour. We wouldn't be here in 2035. But look at that motivational video and now think about what happened with Ayilara's email. The computer, in that video, it says everything in your office will be cleared. Your relatives will bury you and they won't be crying after 2 months anymore. Everything in your office is emptied and somebody else will take your job and your position. When they were emptying Ayilara's office at Kwanti and Akwa Ibom, they found an email inside his email address. There's 2 emails everybody has. Dr. Kemi's private email and Dr. Kemi's business email. So Nigerian police email, somebody now sent me an email. Hi, Dr. Kemi, I'm a police officer, administrative. You don't know me. I'm getting ready to send you an email. Please Do not mention my name. It's going to come from my email address. I don't exist. What's this email about? The person that replied me about Mohbad's case. I work in Kpanti. I used to work with DCP Ayilara, who was promoted to Kpanti and he died. Okay, don't send it with your email. Send it with a fake email. Go to Gmail or Yahoo Mail and just open a generic email. Okay, Emi can she fake accounts, fake accounts anywhere, but I know how to do them.
Sorry to interject again. It's been a while since my interjection. All right, okay. I was just going to ask a very... Okay.
No questions, no interjecting. Let me finish what I'm saying. No interject. Hey, understand, I'm 60 years old. My brain is so overwhelmed. So I told this officer, I said, send it with a fake email. The officer opened the Yahoo Mail and forwarded the email to me. Ayilara's email to the head bosses of police. Kemi Oluloyo, no doctor, just listen. Kemi Oluloyo is the best journalist, best investigative. Let me pull it up. Hold on. Kemi Oluloyo is the best investigative journalist in Nigeria. She has possibly solved the Mohbad case.
We can't see. Is your camera on? We can't see. We can't see it.
No, I'm not showing anybody the email. I'm not posting it to anybody. It's going to be in my book. It's not free for all. Because if an email like that...
She's just reading it.
I'm just reading it. An email like that with Dabaru the internet. I don't want all that nonsense from the internet. Sure you get. It's in my book. It's premium stuff. Kemi Oluloyo is... How many times do you see an email forwarded to you by a person in the police department of a dead person? The head of homicide that started the Mohbad case, who died. Okay, I won't say mysteriously, but I feel like that death was too soon. They moved him away from Kpanti. They promoted him to CP. And the whole thing was controversial. Yomi was the one that actually explained part of it to me because Owonha was the CP of Lagos State. And what they announced was that Owonha is retiring and going to the Interpol. But the real story that Yomi told me, he didn't retire. He went to the Interpol because he was fired for lying about his age. So somebody else had to become CP. So the fight in the internal departments of the Nigerian police, Elomin official CP. To satisfy Ilara, they now removed him from Kpanti and put him in CP of Akwa Ibom. 2 weeks after he got there, he died. Prostate cancer was announced to us. There are people out there who will say, no, it's suspicious. At the end of the day, this is an email he wrote his bosses and it came to me. It was forwarded to me. And it says, I'm possibly the best investigative journalist in Nigeria. She has solved the case. So with that being said, there was no investigation done. To solve case in September, I did it September 15 to the 30th of November 2023. To solve case in November 2023. And if you go to Twitter, just type my name and Wumi's name. Wumi killed Mohbad. Wumi killed. I have tweeted about Wumi killing Mohbad 25 times. Nobody has arrested me. Nobody has come for me. Nobody has interrogated me. Nobody has called for me. And I work with David. I said, David, I work with Ben Hondeng. I work with Femi Babafemi of NDLEA. I work with Top Cops and I work with DSS. That's all I have to say. Next question.
Good. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Oh, sorry, when I interjected earlier, very quickly. When I interjected earlier, I was just going to ask who the industry gods are. It's fine. Who are the industry gods?
IT guy, that's the part I wanted to say. Timo will meet. This is what they plan to do, okay? The street gods, the industrial gods, okay? They want this, they want that. She's in an imaginary life, okay? She has what they call a multiple personality. Like there's three of her. There's one part of her at bedtime at night at 11:55 p.m. That's the real Wumi that will say, I'm the one that killed Mohbad. Then there's another part of her, the multiple personality that says, I didn't kill Mohbad. That's the TV version. And then there's a third part of her that watches everybody. This is a mental disorder called multiple personality disorders. However, there are no street gods. This is the way they want it to go. Her godfathers in the Senate, in the monarchs, two senators, and one person in the presidency, her 5-man team who want her exonerated because her mother is a top cop. Her mother is a former top cop who has all the connections and who is behind all these politicians and all that. They want her exonerated and want her to be the victim. Wumi is not going to be charged. She was not mentioned by the DPP as a suspect. This case has ended. And so what's going to happen is they're going to go through the stage of the courts and all that. When the inquest ends, the criminal case begins, and they're going to charge Ayobami and the nurse. And the person that called the nurse, and then when they charge them, they're going to end up prosecuting the nurse because she had no business working with those kind of drugs, with Zomo is not involved, with those kind of drugs in a non-professional atmosphere. She did not have epinephrine to save Mohbad's life. Mohbad was at 5% of an iPhone. And if she had epinephrine, Mohbad would have reached 55 to 60%. And then they would have been able to transfer him to the hospital for proper treatment. There are no industry gods. People in the industries did not kill Mohbad, okay? There are no people in the music industry, movie industry, nothing. There are 2 senators, 2 kings, and 1 person in the presidency. It's a 5-member team and her mother. She knows what I'm saying. Wumi walori life o de gbe fake account wole aden we okoropa ni money. We're investigators. Oh, mokoti US Embassy she man so nínú form. The new form for visas now, immigrant and non-immigrant visas. Have you been on social media for the last 6 months? What tobacco? No. Oh, Bavisa. Tobacco, yes. You must post all your fake accounts because they already know your fake accounts. So we know your fake accounts. I have that technology. I'm an investigative journalist. She's inside your life here, Papariano. There are no industry gods. What they're doing is they will prosecute the nurse for doing that unprofessional stuff. Okay? They will prosecute the nurse, okay? They will give Ayobami a lesser sentence for the prosecution. So what's going to happen in Nigerian legal terms, they will now give them a fine and they'll walk away. In other words, Kemi Oluloyo was convicted for manslaughter. She didn't plan it. Manslaughter is when you don't plan a murder and it happens. For manslaughter, administering medications without supervision, blah, 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 blah. She will receive 3 years in prison or a 10 million naira fine. So optional fine. So the godfathers will pay that 10 million and everything will be over and nobody will be in prison for Mohbad or anything, nothing. So there's no justice for Mohbad. I've said it. Okay, go ahead. Any questions?
Yeah, thank you very much. Please let me just quickly ask my question so I can go. First of all, I don't want to. Good evening, good afternoon, ma. Good evening.
Yes, how are you?
I'm fine. Thank you so much. You are really an inspiration. I've always followed you for many years. But I will say everything you say, I take the ones that will benefit me, the ones I want to believe, and the ones I don't want to believe, I can throw them out. Thank you so much for your time for today. This question has been bothering me because when Mohbad incident just happened, you made a video and you told us about the DNA. And I'm still standing on that because you are someone I really respect so.
I can't hear.
Yeah, okay, sorry. Yeah, I'm trying to say that the time the case just happened, you did made a post. Maybe you didn't hear what I said before, so let me repeat my
video. I heard what you say. You said I made a video.
Regarding the DNA, right? Regarding the DNA, right? Mm-hmm. So you did make mention, because I want to have it today so that I can clear my mind. I want to have it today from you.
Okay, first of all, who are you?
DNA,
who are you asking the question, Mercy?
It's you. I'm directing it to you, ma. It's to you,
ma. Wait. Mercy, what is your role? What is your job? Are you just a follower of Mohbad?
Yeah. I'm just a follower.
But you said something that didn't go right with me. You said you choose what you want to believe. Okay, when you choose what you want to believe, I don't want to answer a question to you. I don't want people to choose what they want to believe, because in Nigeria, that is what they did to me in Nigeria. They chose what they wanted to believe.
No, it's what
they chose what they wanted to believe about Koza. They chose what they want to believe about every case. I'm not going to answer her. Next person.
I don't believe her. I don't believe that lady.
I'm not answering her.
Thank you. That's good. That's good. Sorry. I'm not even sorry to say it.
Screenshots when you keep millions of screenshots.
Yes, we know. Doesn't want to believe. She will only pick what she wants to believe. What a lie.
Solaja Kolo confess pé òun parọ́ mọ́ Kozak pastor. Ó sá lọ London, ó gba asylum. Nigerian police dákẹ́ wọ́n release any statement after that. Gbogbo ẹ̀ kàn settle, gbogbo ẹ̀ go quiet. Ẹ bú mi. Ẹ wá rò pé mi ò rántí. Can you imagine? Wọ́n fẹ́ bà Fatoyinbo jẹ́. They ní mi ò tí ì rí Fatoyinbo pẹ̀lú ojú mi. Mi ò rí rí.
Thank you for not answering here. Thank you. That's good.
Next person, Jare. Kini next question? Mi wà ní clinic, wọ́n ṣe kíní mi lọ́wọ́. Wọ́n test kíní mi ní private office kan ni mo wà ń bí báyìí. Who is next?
Yeah. Oh yeah, now why are you guys up? Now no question. I have to bring order, so I'll drop you.
And what you was saying, Jack,
don't just fill my box if you can't speak.
DNA is not is the key to this whole case. Because if the police had done an investigation, they should have asked what caused the fights in the car. They were arguing over the paternity. Kilo day all these years. Mumi tún lọ sanwó, Ìyábọ̀ tẹ̀ ló sanwó yẹn, not even Mumi. Ìyábọ̀ ló sanwó yẹn October. Do you guys vividly remember Esther? Do you remember in November of 2023? Tí wọ́n lọ sanwó fáwọn influencers lórí Twitter. Kí wọ́n announce pé
I remember.
DNA has been done. Mohbad is the father. We remember that now.
And they didn't allow me to ask my question. No, they didn't allow me to ask my question.
But you have to try to make things fine now. Message race.
Yes,
you have to understand the tension. Message is right now.
Yes, I know, but I'm not being
just relax. I'm
not being rude.
You can say messages. Wait, now you are the one who want to ask something. You're not forcing her to answer your question. Please take it easy.
Speaking what you want. I don't like
to create
like
the place. Like to understand the tension that is on ground, and you also understand that there are so many insults that have been thrown on her. She has to protect him as well. So put your question politely and make it clear to her. She will answer it. It's not the war.
Don't say you will throw the one that you don't want away.
She will answer you.
I'm not answering her question. I will leave this line.
I apologize.
Dr. Kemi Oluloyo,
okay, I apologize.
No, she doesn't have to apologize. Because Jamila apologized. She said something that I don't tolerate in my career. I'm leaving. Where did this come? I'm leaving. This is my precious time.
I understand. I'm not
answering her question.
I'm not
answering her question. Are you guys
I don't
want to listen to her. I don't want to listen to her. I see them every day. I pick up any time. I don't want that. You pick up the truth from Kemi Oluloyo. You pick up the truth from Kemi Oluloyo. You do not pick up what you want. Somebody else ask me a question,
please. English people.
I'm leaving. You don't have any other questions.
Sister Kemi, Sister Kemi.
Let her go.
Okay.
We don't want that. Let her go.
That's
now,
fine.
Ask your question. Let's deal with it.
I will ask my question. My question is that, when Mohbad just died, she did say the DNA has been done in Dubai. That was just my question. I want her to rephrase it. Are we still taking that word that she said the DNA was done in Dubai? That was just a simple question I wanted to ask her.
Yes. No, she has said that.
Can you give me 1 minute?
Wait, one Ayaba, please. Ayaba, wait, please now. The thing is this, right? Message this. A lot of people after that, she alleged that, right? After that, a lot of other people have also alleged that Wunmi has done secret DNA, right?
Yes.
You understand? So all this secret DNA, nobody will come out to come prove it to you. But the matter of it, the matter of the fact is, Wunmi is running away from doing DNA that will establish the potential of that child. So that confirms that all these people have some informations about her doing it before.
Yes, because
such can come out.
Yeah.
You know, so right?
Yeah.
And even if it come out, it will be a violation.
Yeah, she's somebody I follow a lot and I respect her a lot. And this thing she said since that 2023 that Samilare, Naramali, and Wunmi, Mohbad, they've all gone to Dubai to do this DNA. And because it's someone I respect so much, it's a very brilliant woman, I've been waiting for that opportunity for me to ask her that question because she did say it with confidence on her page on Facebook. With that confidence that she said it with, That's why I've been waiting to be able to get her. So I can still ask her that question. It's just a simple question, yes or no. I didn't disrespect her. I just asked a simple question because she said it.
You even have right to your opinion, so I don't say anything bad in what you said.
Papariano, please. Can I just quickly say
this is where you went wrong, okay?
He's gone already.
Sensitive, okay?
This is the second time.
If you want to ask someone a question, you cannot come up and the first thing you're saying is, you said so many things. I have the right to choose which one I want to pick and which one I don't want to.
Chantal. That's not an That is not an issue. Look at it. Just wait, Chantal. You know what I said? Not an issue. I was trying to make it this way. I was trying to make it this okay. I was trying to tell the Dr. Kemi, it's fine, okay? We are not English people. And not everybody know how to put things in one set in the certain way, the way that seems mostly appealing. Okay, so I was telling her to just overlook that and let that go because the other people are still going to come in and make similar mistakes. It was not unintentional. Exactly, and she was even apologizing, but she was not ready. She wasn't ready to let go.
Papariano, this is it. Okay, this is it. See, she's not that kind of person. You have a different mindset to other people here. People have different ways of thinking, okay, and how they function. I, for one, if I were in her shoes and Mercy Idris comes up and tell me, I have the right to believe, I have the right to believe what I want to believe and what I don't want to believe. You ask me a question, I will not talk to you because what makes me think that you're going to believe what I'm saying? Why are you asking me a question then? You understand? Look at it from that angle.
Do you know that there could be
okay? Wait, just come up, ask your question, and then you go and deal with whatever is true, whatever is not true. Don't bring it to my face and you're asking me a question. I will not answer you. It's as simple as that.
Because you are quick to anger, that's it.
It's not a matter.
She didn't use the right word. That's just the thing. She didn't use the right word.
It's a matter of approach.
But again, she has apologized.
Papariano.
It's not intentional. We are not English people. We cannot know all the words that seems appealing.
No. Mercy Edith's language was wrong in every form, shape, and size. So we have let another person to continue because at the end of the day, she wasn't even going to answer her, and now she's gone. So that's it.
Papariano, first of all, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, everyone. First of all, I just want to say this. Papariano, I know, I understand how you feel, and I understand how everyone feels. Mercy Idris is not a bad person. Neither Dr. Kemi's. And the thing is this: everyone has got principles. Like Papariano, you've got your own principles. You get everyone. Mercy Idris, she's got hers. But the truth is, let's just let it slide. She's gone anyway. I wish she hadn't left because this is the second time I've been I've had a chance to talk to her, but I've not been able to. But what I want to say is this. Sorry, there's noise on. You see, everything that this woman has said is nothing but the hard, bitter truth. And I know that most of us were very emotional, and it is very hard for people to actually take this kind of truth. But it is true. She knows everything about this case. And she knows everything about that country called Nigeria, that system. She knows everything. Look.
Papariano, can you mute, please? It's very noisy, please. Thank you.
Yeah, I think Papariano, you're making noise. Can you mute, please? Yeah, so she knows everything. All that she has said is 100%. If there is any other percent that I can use, I would have used it. I was listening to her and I was like, wow, this woman knows a lot. She knows everything. So the truth is this. We need to learn to accept reality. What I have seen in this Justice for Mohbad is that a lot of people, maybe because of emotions, I understand. People get emotional and because people are so committed to this whole thing. But we need to learn to accept there is no way you can get to where you want to be. You can get to your goal without accepting your reality, what the situation is. That country, I've said this over and over. Anyone who have listened to me, I have said it, that the people, the government that you expecting to give you justice for Mohbad, they are actually the people behind the reason why it's not going to get justice. They are the ones that have engineered all of these old things that all of these old things that have driven every one of us here mad. This case of Mohbad is a simple case, but because these people are trying to protect some people that are some of their own people, the people that wine and dine with them. And there is nothing you can do, you and myself can do. And I was on Paparana, we were analyzing, we're talking about this whole thing, the whole judicial system, up from the presidency down to the governor. How it works is like, look, if it is just one powerful person that just maybe is just rich, that is involved in this Mohbad case, it would have been different. Then you and myself can use some of our connections again if you're connected to the government. But we're talking about the government themselves. They are the ones involved in this guy's murder, homicide. And that is why you can't see me come up again to come and analyze about some nurse or whatever, because that is bullshit. That is not what happened to Mohbad. That guy was killed in the most inhumane manner. The way that nobody should go down like that. A 26-year-old, what has this guy done to you? You people you have children. We're talking about politicians that have got children. Some of them are even like they are grandmas and grandpas. Why would you send such a boy to an early grave? And you see, look, let me tell you something. There are a lot of things that some of us we have done in this Justice for Mohbad, and I've been sitting there, I've been watching everyone, and I'm so glad that I have never involved myself. Nobody asked my contact, just like you, Papariano, because I've watched what people do, and it is sickening. It makes me to think that, so we have people that are actually even worse than Mumi and the people that killed Mohbad in this Justice for Mohbad, fighting for justice. There is something called justice within justice. Justice within justice. You cannot be doing evil under the name that you're looking for justice, and you think people will not get justice against you. Well, I've seen a lot of acts of bullying, and I've seen a lot of acts where people try to take people's voice away because you think somebody's truth is not okay by you, or what the person's opinion does not go well with you, and you want to quieten their spirit, you want to stop them. That is the same thing Nigerian government is doing to their people. When they get to power and people start to complain, look at the copper that spoke out recently. They will send some of their own thugs, their own people, to go to social media and attack them. That's what they do. They send them after people. And the same thing people do in this Justice for Mohbad. And everyone started forming groups, divisions, and they started leading some kind of groups on people. You just unleash dogs on people. Don't talk about this, don't talk about that. I have said everything. Look, some of us, we don't need to be in Nigeria. I'm not a journalist. But there are different types of forensics. You can psychologically analyze forensically and get truth without even being there with that person.
Yeah, definitely.
It's easy.
Yeah.
So we need to understand, some of us, we will contribute intellectual properties. Not all of us that will be on ground. You think somebody will just leave what they're doing and come to Nigeria, that country, where they can come and never return to their own to their domicile country? It doesn't work that way. We need to set aside emotions and treat things. I've said that there is only one solution, one thing that can bring about justice, and that thing is not even guaranteed that it can bring him justice, because the people that are involved can set law as they have set law. Look, everything that you have seen so far is an act of illegality. Everything. The DPP, Attorney General's, charge is an act of illegality. It is lawlessness. Everything. The inquest was an act of illegality. Nobody was addressing all of these things. And when people speak, you think because that person does not go on camera? What is wrong with us? Do we all have to go on camera to show what? To show your wealth? And some people, when they go on camera, you get intimidated. That's the thing. So we need to face reality and address issues. what it is. When I saw that people were happy that some people were arrested, I was looking, I was like, what is wrong with these people? When you have clearly seen the charge of Attorney General, clearly saying that the people that they're going to charge is the nurse, the Spendy, and Naira Marley and whatever. And you can see the Attorney General, the attorney, the lawyer of Baba Mohbad, Sashitu. Look at what he did. They even wrote a publication telling the DPP to hold on from removing Naira Marley and from expunging their names from that charge. But they are not saying that they are not dissatisfied that you want to charge nurse and spending. What sort of investigation is that? I have said it times without number that police never did one bit investigation in this case. They've never left where they've never at no point left where they were to go to Mohbad's house. Nothing. Everything, somebody wrote everything, somebody orchestrated this whole shenanigans. The people in Nigeria, Nigerians that live in Nigeria, they are the only people that can give Mohbad justice. But that is another thing entirely. The people in Nigeria, they are encumbered with a lot of problems already. They've got priorities. They have hunger to battle with. So how do you sensitize those kind of people? How do you get them to peacefully protest on the street, their own street, all over across the nation? That's the only way. That is not even guaranteed because these people are so lawless. They can set aside whatever law. They live above the law. They have told you right from when you were young. From the books you read, they said all animals are equal, but some are more equal than the others. The way Nigeria was set up, the way it was established, it was set up as to fail. It was set up to oppress people, to oppress the people that they rule over. The 99 constitution, that was constitution of the military. They expunge those things that they feel that they don't like, and they brought in things that they feel that they like, and they left the things there that they know that they like. Otherwise, how can you give Attorney General